All right, here's the full speech in that heartfelt, faith-rooted, motivational style you wanted. My brothers and sisters, sometimes we forget a very simple truth. The one who brought us into this world is the same one who guarantees our sustenance. Before you opened your eyes for the very first time, before you took your first breath, before anyone even knew your name, your provision was already written. It was decreed, measured, and set aside for you. Yet we spend our days thinking that an employer, a company, a boss, or even a business is the one feeding us. No, they are not the source, they are merely a means. They are like a cup through which the water is poured, but the water itself comes from far beyond. The moment you believe the cup is the source, you start living in fear. What if they take it away? What if I lose my job? What if I'm replaced? And fear is heavy. It makes you desperate. It makes you run after people instead of turning to the one who controls the hearts of those people. Your salary, your profit, your customers, your contracts, they are not yours because of someone's kindness or someone's decision alone. They are yours because the Almighty allowed them to reach you. If He decides that your sustenance will come through a certain path, nothing and no one can block it. And if He decides that your sustenance will come through a different path, no one can keep you tied to the old one. When you understand this, you stop placing your dignity, your confidence, and your hope in the hands of human beings. You start working for a higher purpose with a calmer heart. You put in the effort, you take the means, but your eyes are fixed on the real provider, the one who never forgets a single soul. Once you truly accept that your provision is from the Almighty and not from any employer, your entire perspective on work begins to change. You stop chasing positions just for the sake of having a title, and you start asking a more important question. How can I create value? Too many people spend years sending out resumes, waiting for someone to give them permission to work. They measure their worth by whether a company says yes or no. But the truth is, you were created with unique skills, talents, and ideas, not just to fill someone's vacancy, but to bring benefit into this world. Think about it, every successful business, every respected professional, every leader you admire, they reached that place because they solved problems for others. They offered something people needed, and they did it well. They didn't just look for a chair to sit in, they built something that made life better for someone else. When you shift your mindset from who will hire me to whose life can I improve today, you unlock doors you didn't even know existed. You start to see needs all around you in your community, in your neighborhood, even within your own family. And when you start meeting those needs, you are no longer just a seeker of opportunities. You become a source of them. This shift also gives you freedom. You are no longer bound to waiting for a single yes from a single person. Instead, you become someone who can create their own opportunities, someone whose work speaks so loudly that people come looking for you. And remember, when you are genuinely helping others, when you're solving real problems, the Almighty places barakah in your efforts, and your work becomes more than just a means to survive, it becomes a way to serve. Once you begin to focus on creating value, you quickly realize something important. Opportunities do not just appear out of thin air. They are unlocked by the skills you develop and the initiative you take. We live in a world where so many people wait for the perfect chance before they act. They say, if I get that position, I will work hard. If someone invests in me, I will start. If I get the right connections, I will succeed. But life does not reward waiting in the corner. It rewards those who step forward with what they have, even if it is small. Skills are like seeds. You plant them, water them, nurture them, and with time, they grow into trees that give fruit for years. The more you learn, the more you practice, the more valuable you become, not because of a certificate hanging on your wall, but because you can actually do something that benefits people. And when people see that, they remember you, they recommend you, they seek you out. And then comes initiative, the courage to act without waiting for permission. How many people have brilliant ideas but never start? How many have the ability to do great things but hide behind excuses like it's not the right time, or I don't have enough yet? Sometimes the right time only appears after you've already started. The Almighty opens doors for those who move their feet. Even a small step taken sincerely, can lead to paths you could never have planned. Skills without action are like treasures locked away. Initiative is the key that brings them to life. And when you combine the two, ability and action, you become a person who doesn't just wait for opportunities, but a person who creates them. When you have developed your skills and learned to take initiative, the next step is to stand on your own feet, but with your heart firmly relying on the Almighty. This is what I mean by self-reliance with trust in divine decree. Self-reliance means you take responsibility for your own effort. You do not sit back and expect others to carry you. You do not depend on constant favors or handouts to survive. You make use of what you have: your mind, your hands, your health, your time, and you work to the best of your ability. You plan, you organize, you wake up early, you discipline yourself, you push yourself to keep moving even when no one is watching. But at the same time, you know that all your strength, all your plans, and all your hard work cannot guarantee success unless the Almighty allows it. This is where trust in divine decree comes in. You understand that results are not in your control, only effort is. You plant the seeds, but it is the Almighty who sends the rain, the sun, and the growth. This balance keeps you from arrogance when you succeed, because you know it was not only your doing. And it protects you from despair when you face setbacks, because you know the one who wrote your story has planned something better ahead. Without this trust, self-reliance can become exhausting, a constant pressure to control every outcome. But when you combine effort with faith, you work hard without being consumed by fear of failure. It also frees you from the trap of comparing your journey to others. You realize that your path is yours alone, designed specifically for you. What is written for you will reach you, and what is not written for you will never harm you. This knowledge allows you to keep going with dignity, patience, and hope. Once you've understood the balance between effort and trust, there's a truth you must hold on to. You don't need to have everything figured out before you begin. You don't need a perfect plan, the latest equipment, or the biggest budget to start. You just need to start. Too many dreams are buried under the excuse of one day when I have enough money, one day when I have more knowledge, one day when the conditions are perfect. But my brothers and sisters, sometimes one day never comes. And if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you may end up waiting your whole life. The Almighty has placed within you something you can use right now. Maybe it's a skill, maybe it's a small amount of savings. Maybe it's your ability to connect with people. Whatever it is, use it. Start with what you have in your hands today, even if it feels insignificant. Every great achievement you see around you started small, sometimes so small it looked like nothing to others. That's how businesses are born. That's how movements begin. That's how lives change. The small steps you take today, with sincerity and consistency, will grow in ways you cannot imagine. Do not underestimate the blessing of humble beginnings. They teach you discipline, patience, and gratitude. They prepare your heart for bigger responsibilities later. And when you start with a sincere intention, even your small actions are filled with barakah. The Almighty can take that small seed and turn it into a tree that shelters you and many others for years to come. When you begin with what you have, the most powerful way to grow it is to serve others. We live in a world where many chase wealth directly, but the truth is, wealth is often the byproduct of service. If you focus on helping people, the means of your sustenance will come looking for you. Serving people does not always mean doing something grand. It can be as simple as providing a product that solves a real problem, offering a service that makes life easier, or even giving your time, attention, and care. When people feel that you genuinely want to benefit them, not just take from them, they trust you, they remember you, and they support you. Think about the people you admire in business, community work, or even daily life. They built their success by putting others first. They asked, "What do people need?" and then worked to meet that need with excellence. And when you do that sincerely, you will notice something beautiful. Your reputation grows, your network expands, and your work becomes sought after, not because you shouted the loudest, but because you served the best. Service also brings a special kind of blessing that cannot be measured only in numbers. The Almighty Himself rewards those who ease the difficulties of others. Sometimes the return is financial, sometimes it is an unexpected opportunity, and sometimes it is protection from harm you didn't even see coming, but it always comes in one way or another, and when your intention is pure, serving others doesn't drain you, it fuels you. You wake up with a sense of purpose. You see the results of your effort not only in your income, but in the smiles, relief, and gratitude of those you've helped. That is a wealth far greater than numbers in a bank account. And from there, every new door that opens feels lighter, because you know you didn't just chase it, it came to you through the blessings of giving.